Dear student, welcome to all of you in my online maths video class. In our last video class, we discussed about the ratio of the area of two similar triangles is equal to square of the ratio of their corresponding sides. And similarly, we also discussed that ratio of the area of two similar triangles is equal to square of the corresponding altitudes, ratio of the square of their corresponding altitudes, ratio of the area of two similar triangles is equal to the square of the medium of their corresponding medians, and similarly the area of the two similar triangles is equal to the ratio of the square of their corresponding angular bisector segment. Okay, the next chapter is locus, which is not in our syllabus, and after that, according to our syllabus, in this academic session, whatever mentioned, that is circle. So here today we will discuss about the class 10 maths chapter 15 circle. Before starting circle, you must go through the syllabus, whatever mentioned in the revised syllabus already given in WhatsApp group. We find that in our syllabus that is the angle property of the circle. The first one is the angle property of circles. The second one is the first one is angle properties of the circle, and the second one is the cyclic property. The cyclic property of the circle, and the third one is the tangent and secant properties of circles. Okay, today we will discuss about only this portion, the angle property of the circle. The angle properties of the circle. But first of all, we should discuss about the circle. What is circle? Dear student, if we take any point here, okay, and after that, from its 4 centimeter distance, we take alpha, whose distance from this fixed point is 4 centimeter. 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter. Like that, if we take these points, whose distance from the fixed point is 4 centimeter, and we join this line, then whatever figure we will give, that will be circle. Getting? Or we can say that the circle is a closed plane figure consisting of all those points of the plane which are at a constant distance from a fixed point in the plane. Means all the point whose distance from the fixed point is constant, means 4 centimeter. Okay. So this is the definition of the circle. Now here this is called the radius of the circle, and if we draw a line such that passing through the center of the circle, and then if this is A and this is B, then this will be radius of the circle. This is also called the longest chord of the circle. There may be so many chords here, but no one is equal to this longest chord, means diameter, and diameter is only that chord which is longest, means longest part of the circle is called diameter. If you take the circle here, this is the center, then longest part is called the diameter. Then this is O, and then OA is equal to OB, and this is called the radius. It means we can say OB is equal to OA is equal to AB by 2. Okay, this curve divide the circle in two parts, just like here. A, if here x and here y, AXB and AYB. Okay, both are equal. Diameter are curve which divide the circle in two equal parts. This half part of the circle is called semicircle. This is the semicircle. Okay, so this is the semicircle. Now, in our syllabus, the angle property of a circle. According to this, now we will discuss. I think you know about the arc also. The boundary of the circle here. Boundary of the circle. If you take any point AB, okay, and this AB is arc AB. You see, we read it as arc AB. Now there are two AB, this or this. This is minor arc and this is major. Okay, if you take it x, then AXB is the major arc and here AB is the minor arc. If you join AB, then AB is called, line segment AB is called chord. This is called the chord. And if a line is passes through the center of the circle, that is called the longest chord. Okay. Now, if we just join OA and OB, then we can say that the line, the arc AB, make an angle AOB on the center of the circle. This is the center of the circle. So arc AB made angle AOB on the center of the circle. And we can say here the chord AB subtend an angle AOB on the center of the circle. Okay. We can say arc AB or chord AB subtend angle AOB at the center of the circle. Now, if we draw another angle here, just like here, then we say that arc AB subtend angle AB, here ACB, other part of the circle. On the center AOB, and on other part of the circle is what? ACB. Okay. Now, here we try to prove that this angle is 2 times of this angle. Means angle AOB is equal to 2 times of angle ACB. ACB. We try to prove it with a statement. Let us see what is the statement and their proof. According to this theorem, the angle subtended by an arc of a circle at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. Here, we just take a circle where PQ is an arc. This PQ subtend angle POB and POQ at the center of the circle, and the same arc PQ subtend angle PAB on the remaining part of the circle. Okay, and what is the relation between this? The relation is that angle POQ is 2 times of angle PAQ. Okay, the statement is just representing this condition. The angle subtended by an arc, let that arc is PQ. Of a circle at the center, the angle at the center is POP, is double, means 2 times. The angle subtended by it, the same angle subtended the angle PAQ at any point on the remaining part of the circle. So here PAQ is the angle subtended by PQ on the remaining part of the circle, and POQ is the angle subtended by RPQ on the center of the circle. This condition, all this condition is included in this statement. If the statement is given, so we have to just consider all the things and prove it. So here it is given, we just consider as given a circle with center O. This is the circle with center O and arc PQ, subtend angle POQ at the center O and PAQ at any point A on the remaining part of the circle. Just according to statement, we try to write our given part. Okay? At the place of ABC, we can put any other symbol also. This will be no problem. Then what we have to prove? We have to prove that angle POQ is 2 times of angle PAQ. Okay? For this, we make a construction. We just join OA. We join AO and proceed it up to B. Okay, proceed it up to B. We are join OA and produce it up to point B. Okay, this is the getting. Now what we do? This is the statement. According to statement, we just make a given part to prove what we have to prove according to statement, according to theorem. And for proving, we do some construction like this, join AO and produce it up to B. Why we are doing like this way? We have some meaning, we have some aim to prove. Therefore, we just construct it. Okay. Now what we do? Dear student, did you know that in a triangle, if you want to find the exterior angle, if just take it as exterior angle 3, here 1 and here 2, then exterior angle 3 is equal to x sum of the opposite interior angle, means angle 1 plus angle 2. Means I will write the exterior angle of any triangle is equal to sum of the opposite interior angle. Angle 3 is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. If we have angle Z and here x and y, then we can say that Z is equal to x plus y. Exterior angle is equal to sum of the opposite interior angle. Okay, here I am going to use this concept. In triangle, for triangle OAP, for triangle OAP, angle POB is the exterior angle. This is the exterior angle. And the exterior angle is equal to sum of the opposite of interior angle. Therefore, we can write exterior angle POB, or simply we can write angle POB equal to angle OAP plus angle OBA. What is the reason? The reason is that since exterior angle is equal to sum of the opposite interior angle. This concept clear? Now, here OA and OB both are radius, and radius are same. So therefore, OA will be equal to OB. OP is equal to OA. And what is the reason? The reason is that radii are the same circle. It means OP is equal to OA. Why? Because they are the radius of the same circle. Again, you know that if two sides are equal, then angle of their opposite, the angle of the opposite angle of the equal sides are equal. Opposite angle of two equal sides are equal. So since OP and OA are equal here, OP is equal to OA, and the opposite angle of OP is what? OAP, and opposite angle of OA is OPA. Therefore, the both angle OAP and angle OPA, they both will be equal. And what is the reason? The reason is that angle opposite to equal sides are equal. Okay? The theorems related to this concept we already proved in class 7th and 8th. Now, since angle POB, they two will be equal, means AOP is equal to OPA. Therefore, if we just want to write about angle POB, so first one is OAP, there will be no change, but we just change this OPA because OPA is equal to angle OAP. So at the place of OPA, we can write OAP. In this way, angle POB is equal to angle OAP plus OAP. So here this right hand side can be written as 2 multiplied by 2 times of angle OAP. Get it? It means here angle POB is equal to 2 times of angle OAP. Okay. Similarly, also we can just prove that angle QOB, means this exterior angle, is equal to the sum of the two opposite interior angle, this angle and this angle. Again, this angle and this angle will be equal. In this way, similarly, we can prove that angle BOQ is equal to 2 times of angle OAQ. Okay, in this way we have two equations. Now add these two equations. If we add these two equations, then we find that angle POB plus angle BOQ equal to 2 times of angle OAP plus 2 times of angle OAQ. Okay. Now POB and plus BOQ is equal to what? So both will be equal to angle POQ. Angle POQ. This implies that equal to this one, and here take 2 common. It will be angle OAP plus angle OAP. And if we include these two angles, then this angle and this angle will be equal to angle PAQ. 2 times of angle PAQ. In this way, we can prove that PAQ is equal to 2 times of angle PAQ. Hence, we can write the angle subtended by an arc of a circle at the center is double the angle subtended by it, means the same arc at any of the remaining part of the circle. Okay, this is very important theorem. According to the book, the same theorem is explained with the 3 circles, with the help of 3 circles, 3 conditions, 3 criteria. But here, this one is very simple way to understand about this concept. Okay, let us see some more things whatever given as corollary 1 and corollary 2. So here, according to this, equal arc of a circle subtend equal angles at any point on the remaining part of the circle. Equal arc. These are PQ. Similarly, if we have any other arc and the length of arc PQ and the other arc is same, the both arc will make same angle. same angle at any point on the remaining part of the circle. For example, it will be better to understand it with example. Here, okay, if you have here PQ and here AB, just take AB. What is the condition? R to PQ is equal to R AB. Then, according to the condition, equal arc of a circle. This arc and this arc are equal. Subtend equal angles at any point on the remaining part of the circle. So this is the point. Then this angle and this angle will be equal. Why? Because the two arcs are equal. If two arcs will be equal, then here chord PQ and chord AB will also be equal. Okay, so if two arcs will be equal, the two chords will also be equal, and the angle made on the remaining part of the circle, here in this condition, angle PMQ is equal to angle AMB. Getting? The second one is given: equal chord of the circle subtend equal angle at any point on the major arc minor. Major means this is this AB. If we just leave this arc AB, then whatever arc left, that will be major arc, and this is called the minor arc. Whatever I explained, that the chord, the two equal chord make same angle, just like two equal arc make the same angle. Both are same. Corollary first and corollary second. The second theorem is given. Theorem 15.2. It is given as that. The second theorem is that angle in the same segment of a circle are equal. Angle in the same segment of the circle are equal. It means what? We go through it, and if the proof whatever we are doing first time, that proof is enough to prove all these theorems. The angle in the same segment of the circle are equal if we have an arc AB, okay, and we have this type of angle here and this angle, okay, and here this is the center of the circle. You know that if this is 2x, then this will be also x, and if this is 2x, then this also x. In that case, we can say that this angle and this angle are equal. It means angle in the same segment of the circle are equal. Getting? Its converse theorem is also given. You go through it. And one very important, angle in a semicircle is a right angle. Semicircle means what? This is the circle and the half part which is passes through the center of the circle. This is called the semicircle. Now we know that what is this? 180 degree. 180 degree. Then whatever angle we will take, this that will be half of this 180. Okay. In this way we can say that angle in a semicircle is a right angle. Angle in a semicircle, whatever angle we will make, this in each condition this will be 90 degree. Why? The reason is that the first theorem. The reason is behind this is the first theorem. Here this is 180 degree, then this angle will be half of this angle, then it is 90 degree. Okay. So these theorems are important to solve the questions given before exercise 15.1. Okay. We just go through these theorems and try to solve some example questions. After that, here I will also provide you the solution and try to solve some question if possible related to the circle. Thank you.